$150 laps on the docket here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and by the time we're done racing here tonight, we know who's going to be racing at Texas Motor Speedway next Wednesday night for the Fatheads Cup Series Championship at Texas Motor Speedway. Tim Wortman Jr., Kenny Capola already in that last round of 4. They're going to be racing for a championship. Preston Perrier coming in with a 10-point cushion. Alonzo King holding on to that 4th place by a tiebreaker. Tied right now in 4th with David Douthwaite, Matt Mack, and Ken Ellert, and Trevor Absher right on the brink of getting in as well. Great racing action coming up to you live here on Vidane TV. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here in the booth, joined by my side, Wes Rowdy Hogue. Wes, it's great to have you up here again for the Showtime Cup Series, or the Fatheads Cup Series.
Paul, anytime I get to join you here on a Wednesday night for the Fatheads Cup Series, I will jump on it. It's good to be here with you and call the action for you folks. Some great racing at a great racetrack at North Wilkesboro here in North Carolina. And as you see, our front row already lined up with the number 12 of Caleb Levener and the 19 of Trevor Absher. We're going to have 150 laps here for you, ladies and gentlemen. No resets, some hard fighting short track racing here with the Fatheads Cup Series.
Trevor Absher in that 19 car, very exciting driver to watch, very talented driver to watch. Rough go of it last week, and his plan to get into that championship 4 was to go out and win every single race. Unfortunately, had a couple of rough races here the past 2 races, but that last week in Kentucky getting caught up in a couple of different incidences. But this week, he's going to try and get out there. He's on the pole right now. Got a great starting spot for that number 19. As you can see, the rest of the field lined up. Alonzo King, championship contender. They're starting in 4th. The iRacing Mustang pace car. The lights are off. Going to get one more lap to get these drivers ready to rock and roll. You see Wayne Bowen, Jimmy Absher, Tim Wortman Jr., Wade Palmer the 5th, Matt Mackin rounding out the top 10. There you see Charles Stevens, part-time schedule there in the number 20, starting 11th, championship contender. The number 95, Ken Ellert, starting in the 12th position. And just going to be an exciting race here. 150 laps on the board, and we're going to be in who's going to be racing their way into the championship round of 4. The best finishing driver of those 4 drivers next week's at Texas Motor Speedway is going to come home with the Fatheads Cup Championship. And here we go. Green flag in the air, side by side as they thunder on down into turn number 1. Trevor Absher gets a little bit of a hiccup there. The 12 of Caleb Levener gets a whole shot. But you can see the 19 getting the bottom side, making it happen, holding on side by side. They head down into 3.
Still side by side of the lead is Trevor Absher on the bottom, but with the momentum, can he clear Levener in the 12? Yes, he can as they come across the line. Absher will be your leader here with Levener, Alonzo King in that 47. Then you have Ed Boyles. He's under fire in that 88 as the 11 of Wayne Bowen is looking low, trying to get that 4th position, but they're able to figure that out, and now we are single file coming across the line to take lap 3.
Short track racing at its finest, one of the greatest short tracks here in North Carolina, in the East Coast here, and you can see everybody pretty much single file up here in the top 8 or 9 cars, so 16 cars on the field, and 16 of the best that the Fatheads Cup Series has to offer here this evening. See a little bit of side-by-side action. Ed Boyles Jr. trying to get up past Owen in the 11 car, and you can see the side-by-side, you can put a zip tie between the door handles if these cars had door handles. And Ed Boyles Jr. trying to get up there into the first spot, into the podium position. Kind of spoiled it for these championship drivers. He missed getting into the round of 8 by a tiebreaker. And that actually went to Ken Eller in the 95 car, or Alonzo King, rather, in the 47 car. So heartbreak there for the 88 team, trying to come home with a victory here in one of the final 2 races.
Wayne Bowen in that number 11 machine gets underneath the 88 of Boyle Jr. to come along and take that 4th position. So move the 11 up to the number 4, as now set in his crosshairs is Alonzo King in that 47. And right behind him is that 23 of Douthwaite, David Douthwaite, as he's in 6th. And right now, Paul, this is something we don't typically get to see. We're seeing some single file racing, getting into a groove, logging laps, Paul. As we said earlier, this is a long race. It's 150 laps. You don't want to run the majority of it under caution because that ends up being an even longer race. So this is where you get in that groove, you turn some laps, you take care of your car, you race the track, and you do everything you can to get there at the end, as now Trevor Apsher in that 19 strengthens his lead quite a bit on Caleb Levner.
And you can see a little bit of a different line between the 19 and the 12 drivers up towards the front. Trevor Apsher right on that white line all the way down, kind of running a line similar to Stafford Speedway, where you almost use the apron to kind of turn the car. And the 12 car running a little bit higher, apexing a little bit later, coming on down, and might be saving a little bit of tire on that 12 car. So it'll be wonder to see if tires are going to play an issue here later on in this run.
Well, it sure will, especially if we have a long green flag run. North Wilkesboro will eat up some tires if you overdrive your car. And so we do see a little bit more of that arc going into the corner, and that could pay off. However, Apsher has shown us before, he knows how to get it done, Paul. And no matter what the track is, he knows how to get up front and stay up front. And he's trying to prove that now, as now further back in that 3rd position is Alonzo King, who's under fire from the 11 of Wayne Bowen. They make a little bit of contact in the entry to the corner. Now the 11 comes out of turn 2. He's able to clear the 47. He puts himself in the 3rd position, moving up a little bit further, trying to catch those leaders.
Alonzo knows he needs a good finish here tonight. He's down by 5 points, or he's tied for that 4th position. One of the drivers that's not currently locked into the round of 4, looking to lock 2 more drivers into that to join Kenny Capola, last week's winner, and Tim Wortman Jr., the winner of the first race of this round in that 00 car. And man, oh man, the excitement is building here, and you can see those 8 drivers trying for those 4 spots all the way around this racetrack have those bright green spoilers. There you see one on the 23 car of David Douthwaite, that Toyota, trying to move forward, trying to get up towards the front and get all of the points that he can. There you can see Tim Wortman Jr. Behind him as well. Bright green windshield banners as well on these championship contenders cars. There's 4 spots. We're cutting this field right into half. We're still going to have a full field of race cars on track. And the best finishing of those 4 championship contenders next week at Texas, walking away with the trophy.
Paul, we are 15 laps in now, and we are still clean and green. Trevor Apsher is your leader, followed up by now Caleb Levner, who is definitely shortening that gap now to him and Apsher as they dive down into the corner. And still a little bit of a different line by these drivers as they come out of 4. The 11 of Wayne Bowen, he's still a bit behind, but Caleb Levner possibly taking care of those tires early in this race. Again, North Wilkesboro can take a toll on your tires if you overdrive your car. And or Levner at the same time might have just said, all right, I can cool this thing down a little bit. It looks like we're going to have a long green flag run. So a little bit of strategy probably playing here. But we're actually single file basically throughout the field here, Paul. And for the viewers that might be new to the Fatheads Cup Series, you're like, wow, some of these paint schemes look familiar. Well, they do a lot of realistic team-type stuff that where their teams represent the actual teams in NASCAR. Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, RCR. So you see some familiar numbers with some familiar paint schemes. That is why.
Yeah, it makes it easy to follow along all the different teams that these guys run here, and it's pretty cool to see. You can check out their website and their Facebook page, facebook.com/Fathead Cup Series, Fatheads with a Z. And you got to check out their series sponsor as well, Fatheads Eyewear. Check them out at fatheads.com. Again, Fatheads with a Z. Use promo code SHOWTIME for 40% off at checkout. I did it a couple months back now. Wore my Fatheads glasses at the track every single Friday at Stafford Motor Speedway, helping out the Rent-A-Race Car crew, as I do. And, they call them Fatheads for a reason. I got a great big old head. Oh, contact between the 23 and the 18. The 18 goes around. Looks like we are still currently green. But that is a tough break for Jimmy Apsher. Looks like he does collect it back, losing a lot of momentum. And he's got Matt Mackin now in the 9 car trying to get around on the high side.
Paulie just kind of got slapped there coming off of turn 4 by the 23 machine. Slapped the inside wall and kept it straight. A little bit of complaints by the driver, wondering where the caution is at. However, his car never got out of control or anything like that, Paul. He kept it straight for the most part. His car never actually spun, so that's probably why the caution never came out. He slapped the heck out of that inside wall coming out of 4 and kept going. If possibly he would have stopped or spun out, maybe came up on the track a little bit higher, the caution could have came out. But nonetheless, we stay green here at North Wilkesboro.
Tough racing back here for the bottom second half of the top 10. The 48 car, Michael Miller, trying to get around Charles Stevens. Charles Stevens getting the better of him. Working a little bit higher line. There you see Preston Perrier, the number 13 car. Lots of fans over on the Facebook chat and the YouTube chat as well. Be sure to let us know where you're watching from, who you're pulling for, and who you think is going to come home with this championship next week at Texas Motor Speedway. We try to stay live and interactive here out at Vadane TV, but up front, still status quo. That 19 Toyota, the young Trevor Absher, holding on to the lead, but that black and yellow machine getting bigger and bigger in his rearview mirror.
Paul, we have one retiree of the race, and that was the number 5 of Wade Palmer, the 4th. Caution's out, the 48 goes around of Michael Miller, ladies and gentlemen, off of turn 2. Michael Miller came off the corner, got a little loose, overcorrects it, and hits the outside wall. We get our first caution here in lap 24. Out of nowhere, I expected our first caution to be something a little bit more eventful, but man, all these drivers can now take a quick breath as Paul is going to get you guys the quick instant replay and see what happened with the 48.
At first look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and there you can see losing control, losing the back end of that race car of the number 48. Made a little bit of contact with the 13 car coming out of turn 2 there, rather. Doesn't look like it was too big of a hit, and not much damage on either the 48 or the 13 car. So gets everything corrected. Probably going to come down pit road here and get service to that machine, and it looks like pit road is a lively place.
It is, and as you see on the screen, the number 12 machine, the Lebner, is headed down pit road, as well as many more in the field. Tires are warmed up. You'll want to get some fresh tires if you're up front. You've been driving your tail off as our leaders has head down pit road. But a couple drivers stayed out, Paul. Trevor Absher in the 19, our leader, stayed out. Wade Bowen stayed out, as well as Ken Elhert. The 43 of Joshua Battle stayed out. A few drivers gambling, as Caleb Lebner will be the first off pit road in that 12, followed up by Lowndes King. Douthwaite in the 23, Ed Boyles Jr. in the 88, Tim Wortman Jr. in the 00, and Wade Palmer the 5th in the 24. And also to make note on Jimmy Absher, he still has a little bit of damage on that 18 machine after all that drama of bouncing off the wall. That car's still a little beat up, so that's still a story to follow. But we're gonna have fresh tires against new tires, Paul.
Yeah, taking a look at the screen right now at the pit stop times, you can see the top 4 drivers, Absher, Bowen, Eller, and Battles staying out on track, and everywhere between a 14.2 and a 14.9 as far as pit stops. So everybody taking 4 tires, and you can see some of the drivers made up a few spots. Preston Perrier up 3 spots after the pit stop on that number 13, and looks like Boyles, the big loser on that round with 14.9, drops himself 5 spots. So going to be interesting to see as the lights turn off on the iRacing Mustang pace car. Going to line them up 2 by 2 all the way through the field here. Already working lap number 30 here at North Wilkesboro. We're going to see what these old tires can do versus everybody else in the field who's got fresh tires.
Paul, they're putting them up and putting them down. It took us, this long to get our first caution, which is uncommon here in iRacing. So commend these guys. Some great drivers, racing hard and racing clean. As we're going to see the iRacing Mustang take that hard left down pit road here, coming out of turn 4. That's going to give the green light to Trevor Absher to hit the gas when he's ready, and we are going green. And the 11 on the outside of Bowen gets the jump. He dives it down into turn 1. The 19 of Absher able to keep his nose there. Probably dove it in a little too hard was the 11. That allowed the 19 of Absher to clear him for the lead and get that whole shot. But Wade Bowen on those tires trying to make a statement now, as here's the 47 Alonzo King making his way around the old tires and Battles. Of Elhart now battling side by side with the 12 of Lebner, the first car on fresh rubber as they come out of 2, squeezes up by the wall. Hard racing here throughout the pack already.
Trevor Absher doing what he needs to do, lead the laps and try and get to the point where he's going to lead the last lap. Currently scored in eighth place, 12 points out. But look at this gaggle of cars here for about fifth on back. Ken Ellert hold him off there in the 95. There you see battles in the 43. They're side by side, and everybody side by side behind them. Hendrick Motorsports teammates of Ed Boyles Jr. there in the 80. Oh, the 12 car's around. From second place all the way back to the pack. There you see the 24 car involved as well. Big front end damage on that 12 car. May very well be done. Looks like he was able to roll away from the wreck, but he's going to call for the tow truck and shoot on down pit road. And we're going to take another look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay here, Wes.
Paul, it looked like the 24 went into that corner, made contact with the 12, and that sent the 12 for a ride. What a tough break as he was running really strong in the top two throughout the race. Got fresh tires, so 24 of Wade Palmer the fifth. Tried to take it 3 wide in between Douthwaite and Lebner in the 12. It did not work out. The 12 hard into the outside wall, as we're about to see here. Paul's going to bring it to us. Tough break here, as you're seeing. The 88 is just going to be, the 24 gets into the 12. 12 hard into the wall, collecting the 48, the 00 and more.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the 12 car as well. You can almost see he was trying to make it work on the outside line, but the 43 car was there occupying that position, so he wasn't really able to kind of make that run up on the outside line and had to kind of pinch it off just a little bit on the inside. So it was almost nowhere to go there for that car, and we can see Michael Miller on pit road. Trevor Absher currently being scored in the second spot. We'll take a look at pit stops here and see what went down on pit road and take a look at these pit stop times. And there you can see Miller's, we'll get that corrected. There we go. Trevor Absher going to stay out again, as well as Wayne Bowen, it looks like. King going to be the first driver coming out on pit road, and he's going to move himself up to the third position. So great battles here on pit road, great battles on the racetrack as well.
And notable here, Caleb Lebner is out for the day. Caleb Lebner has retired. He will DNF. He will not finish this race in that 12. So from second place to the hook. And all because he decided to come down pit road, get those fresh tires, and put them in the eye of the storm, Paul. And that might be why you see Absher and Bowen trying to stay out. You don't want to be back there, especially on a short track. You know you got a fast car. The last thing you want to do is have rolling barricades.
100%, and the laps really clicking off here in a quick way. You can see the lights already off on the iRacing pace car. Trevor Absher going to hold on to that lead position. Wayne Bowen trying to spoil it for these championship guys. There you can see David Douthwaite coming up to get the free pass. That's a little bit tight right there, but he's going to get on around that pace car, join the back end. Nope, didn't quite have enough there, so he's going to get into the back of the pack. Not going to be able to get that free pass this time around, and it's going to be an interesting restart here with the high line not quite as tight. We'll see what happens.
Paul, this is a really messed up restart. They're going to throw the caution out. One more lap under yellow here. Going to get the lineup set correctly. A little bit of confusion here. So we're going to go around one more time under yellow so they can get the lineup right. But what we see right now is, of course, Absher is still your leader, followed up by Wayne Bowen in the 11. We saw him get one heck of a jump on that last restart, but could not hold it on the outside. The outside is treacherous here in North Wilkesboro. We're about to see if he's able to hold it this time, as the lights are off of the pace car. I'm going to try this one more time.
A couple of championship contenders up front. We've made mention Absher on the 19 has to win. Currently scored P8 in the points. There you see the 47 of Alonzo King Jr. He's currently in. He came in. He has 3-point cushion over David Douthwaite, but David Douthwaite having a big issue earlier on, and we can see the leaders now side by side heading into one. There you see Battles in the fourth position trying to get up around Ken Ellert in the 95, and Ed Boyles Jr. joining the party as well. Side by side for second right now. Where the race is, Alonzo King, he knows he has to win to guarantee his spot into the championship 4. He's going to set his sights on the back bumper of that 19 car.
Alonzo King shot out of a cannon there here on that restart, straight to second place. He gets around that 11 machine. And right now, Bowen, all you got to do is just kind of move over and say, hey, kid, you go do your thing. Now, Absher's mirror is going to be full of that 47 machine as we get single file here on this restart. Now possibly get back into that groove, start knocking off some laps. That's what Trevor Absher wants. He wants to be able to get back into that long run. It seems like he was doing really well on older tires as other drivers were starting to fall off. But nonetheless, his mirror is filled with the 47 of Alonzo King.
The shadows off of these race cars starting to get a little bit longer, starting to get a little bit darker, starting to get a little bit cooler. Racetrack's going to go through a big change here, handling-wise, and it's going to be something to see here. Who is better as the conditions change?
Oh, big wreck in the back. The 18 goes around. I'm sorry there, Paul. That's what I come here to do. I come here to cut you off and make things happen. The opening on the backstretch, the 43 hits it. And then the 18 bounces off the 43, possibly a little bit of netcode there with it. Nonetheless, that set the 18 to skyrocketing around, doing a quick spin out there going into 3. Jimmy Absher just not having the luck that he needs here at North Wilkesboro, Paul.
Yeah, and there you can see it, the 43 up on the outside, and definitely a little bit of the netcode, the no-no word here in the iRacing world. But connection issues between the two cars. iRacing basically trying to kind of pinpoint where the cars are going to be on track, and sometimes it's off by just a little bit, and it makes some invisible contacts between a little bit of drivers, but not the night Jimmy Absher wanted, not the night for David Douthwaite either. You can see he's got damage all the way around that car, especially that bright green rear spoiler. All sorts of kinked in on that race car. So championship contenders having issues here at North Wilkesboro.
One driver not having any issues is that Trevor Absher in that 19. He has done a heck of a job dominating this race, and as well as Alonzo King in that 47. Those are going to be the two to watch here at the end. I think Alonzo King has something for Absher. I think he has that drive to win. He has to in order to get into that Final Four. And, Paul, that will do something to a driver, man. When you know you have to win, desperate times call for desperate measures, and you drive a little bit hard. Maybe you make some moves you typically don't make on another weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what that 47 is going to do here.
Absolutely, and it'll be great to see what the 19 can pull out here. We've seen that Trevor Absher, very, very talented in this iRacing service, and has a very bright future ahead of him as far as the bigger series go, with the Coca-Cola eNASCAR series and Road to Pro and all the other sorts of things here. But lots of talent in behind the wheel of that number 19 car, and we'll actually see if we can potentially talk to the leader right now. Trevor, you've led just about the entire first third of the race here. What do you got for the last 2/3?
I'm gonna keep digging, man. I'm in a must-win situation. I just got to keep digging.
100%, man. You're making it look easy. Hopefully, we'll talk to you on the podium here after the race.
Yep. Thank y'all.
Very, very focused driver back in the team channel, and man, oh man, very exciting to watch this kid on the racetrack. Very exciting to listen to his interviews after the racetrack, and potentially talking about a championship run here. It's laying in the wings right now. We don't know if he's going to make it in on points, but he doesn't want to wait for the points. He wants to go out there, win this race, and guarantee his spot in that Final Four.
You never want to have to rely on points. Wins mean everything. Both these drivers know that, and that's why you see both these drivers driving hard. You heard Trevor say there, hey, he's here to win it, and that's what he's trying to do. He wants to win it all, and that's what he's going to continue to try to do here. As you see the pace car head off into pit road as we speak. Green flag is out, and now Trevor Absher gets a great jump. The 47 allows the King not so much. That allows the Wayne Bowen machine, that number 11, underneath him going into 1 and 2 on this start. They're side by side coming off of 2 of Absher, got the whole shot, but here is Bowen trying to get that second position. That man has been awesome so far on the 3 starts. They're still side by side coming off the 4, but give the advantage to the 47 of King.
Ed Boyles Jr. joining the party here as well in that 88 car. He wants to get around that number 47 car. That's the car that beat him in the round of 8 by a tiebreaker. So he wants to get up there, try and get a better position, and maybe spoil the fun there for the 47 car. 47 currently in 4th with the points coming into the evening. Again, another driver that doesn't want to wait for the points. They want to get out there and win this race, but it's going to be a tall order to try and get around that 19 Toyota.
Paul, watching Wayne Bowen in this 11 shoot off the corners has been really entertaining here, especially off turn 2 the last couple laps. He's getting a conservative entry, and then he diamonds the corner, and then on exit he's able to really shoot off. It looks like now maybe he's a little bit more conservative on it, but I still think, Paul, we're on that 151. We got 100 to go. You still got to think about the long term. You got to think about saving those tires. He's in a great position. He doesn't have any kind of pressure on him. why not try to save a little bit of rubber? And it's not going to hurt you. Caution comes out, you're still in third, everybody's going to pit. So I like the position that Wayne Bowen's in that number 11. However, his mirror is full of that 88 of Ed Boyles Jr. We haven't said his name much, but he's trying to make his presence known.
Speaking of making his presence known, big mover on the night. Double P Preston Perrier in the number 13 car, up 10 spots on the night. Started 15th, currently battling side by side with the 95 car of Ken Ellert for that 5th position, trying to move his way up towards the front. He came in with a 10-point cushion. Again, another driver, though, does not want to wait for the points at the end of the night. You want to win this race. You want to know that you're going to be racing for that championship next week. And the 13 car, very, very fast here at North Wilkesboro. Not the qualifying effort that he wanted to start the race, but definitely showing that he's got something here on the long green flag runs.
Single file through most of the field here, other than the 00 there of Workman Jr. and Ellert, doing a little bit of a battling. But other than that, again, it's getting to a groove. But Absher is not pulling away from Alonzo King, Paul. Alonzo King's able to keep him right there in his crosshairs, just a couple car lengths away from him. And as a leader, man, that will get in your head because you would have to hit your mark. You miss it once, you're right over the bumper looking to strike.
And with just under 100 laps to go, you don't really want to make your move too early. You don't want to show your cards. You don't want to really show what that leader, what your car potentially has or doesn't have. At this point right now, really in the catbird seat is going to be Alonzo King Jr. He's able to kind of sit back, ride a little bit, hold on to the tire tracks of that 19 car and do his homework. Really study what that 19 car is doing as they're side by side there for third. Wayne Bowen trying to get something happening there on the outside line. But Alonzo King really trying to study where that 19 car is slower, where he's faster, where he could potentially get that nose in there and try and get up and around to get to the lead.
A little bit of contact further back, and Michael Miller, the 48, the 18 kind of got together, but the 48's having a little connection issues. That may have actually caused that, but no harm, no foul. Of course, we stay green, and great corner, though, by the 47, Alonzo King. I'm telling you, Paul, the way that he's diamonding these corners, the way he's able to exit a little bit stronger than the 19, I think he's going to have something here for him, especially on the long run. He's doing a little bit more of an arc than the 19 is. 19's of Absher, he's entering a little lower. He's putting a little bit more strain on that right front tire. We could really have something interesting here in about 30, 40 laps. If this goes green, it's going to be interesting to see who prevails there. But further back, the battle for third as Wayne Bowen gets completely loose coming off the corner as he sacrifices third place to Ed Boyles Jr. and that 88 as he tries to make a stride to the front.
And that's really going to get into the driver's head there, the number 11 of Wayne Bowen, especially looking in the rear view mirror, that SNAR logo on the 13 Geico machine getting bigger and bigger. Here comes Preston Perrier, we made mention, already up 10 spots on the night, and he's still got more than half of this race to go. I definitely think we're going to be seeing Preston Perrier trying to race his way into the show here tonight. He doesn't want to wait on points. He wants to get up there. He wants to take the win away and make his own destiny.
Quick notable of any Charles Stevens fans, he has headed down pit road and took his number 20 Toyota Camry down the service. So he's probably going to fall a couple laps down here, possibly unscheduled stop. Up front, though, the leaders are still nose to nose. That 88 machine of Boyles Jr. has driven away from Bowen to secure that third position. In Bowen's mirror, though, of that Perrier car, that number 13 is getting bigger and bigger. Bowen, with the intensity that he's shown throughout this race, he better turn it up now if he wants to keep that position, as now the battle for the lead, again, Paul, starts to heat up as the 47, ever so slightly, keeps closing up on the bumper of Absher.
For the past 10, 15 laps or so, that 47 of Alonzo King has really had a good entry, a much better entry, a stronger entry than the 19 of Absher, but it's stuck. Oh, he gets big time loose coming out of turn 4, holds on to it, but he loses a bunch of track position. Just getting ready to say here, Wes, he was getting really, really solid on the exits of both turns and both ends of this racetrack. But unfortunately, at that point, it might have gotten a little bit into the back of his head, and that's something he's going to have to focus on here. You don't really want to, you don't want to lose control of the car like that, so you have to try and mix up your driving style just a little bit. And the battle behind them between Ed Boyles Jr. and 11 heats up once again.
That battle for third is on, as now our leader has a little smirk on his face as he sees himself starting to drive away from the 47, able to take a deep breath. No longer looking out his mirror, he's now looking out his windshield. But now looking out of their windshield is the 88 of Boyles Jr. as he battles side by side with Bowen. Bowen's able to get his 11 machine around the Ed Boyles Jr. car. And it's still the 88 battling on the outside, not wanting to give up that podium position. Has to relinquish it, though. Give third right now to Wayne Bowen.
You made mention, a big smirk on the leader's face, Trevor Absher. One thing you do not want to do if you're in the same field as this 19 car, do not build this kid's confidence, because he will beat you every single time. Lots of talent behind the steering wheel of that 19 car, and he knows it. Very, very confident heading into this race here at North Wilkesboro, and seeing that somebody else behind him made a mistake, really needs to hit his marks here, and we're working lap 7th way already here at North Wilkesboro, and Trevor Absher in that 19 has led every single one of those laps, so he's doing his best. He's doing what he needs to do, leading the laps and trying to come home on that last lap in that P1 position. He wants to race for this championship next week.
Good news for Alonzo King. He's running 19.2s right now, which is a pretty solid pace around this track. Bad news for Alonzo King. So is Absher. It's hard to catch the leader when you're running almost identical lap times. That lap he was about a half-tenth quicker, but a half-tenth isn't going to make it happen here. If you're the Alonzo King car there, you just got to gather your stuff, take a deep breath, and take care of your tires and try to do whatever you can here to gain on Absher. But nonetheless, getting bigger in his mirror now is going to be Wayne Bowen. He's no longer going to have to worry about catching the leader. He's going to have to defend second.
Preston Perrier still holding on to that 5th position as well. Looking out the windshield now of the leader, Absher. You can take a look at those lap times down the bottom of your screen, and just like you said, Wes, almost identical, within a couple hundredths of a second, kind of back and forth over the past 5 laps or so, but going to be dealing with some lap traffic here in a little bit. You can see just about a straightaway ahead. That looks like battles in the 43 car, the P12 car, the last car on the lead lap. Palmer, Stevens, Levener, and the other Palmer as well. Palmer the 4th and Palmer the 5th, all out of this race. Looks like laps down at this point. The 24-20 still in the race. But man, oh man, exciting racing here in North Wilkesboro. And Trevor Absher, he just doesn't hesitate on hitting the throttle, doing a great job, hitting his marks, doing what he needs to do to try and come home with the victory here.
That battle for second now wages on. Bowen looks low on Alonzo King. He possibly just heated up those tires a little bit too much when he got loose and trying to catch Absher. Bowen still holding on that low position. King with the advantage on exit, pinches him down out of 2. They're neck and neck coming out of the corner, now down into 3. You don't have a lot of room here down the straightaways to make it happen, but can Bowen clear him? No, the 47 hangs on his right rear, able to stay there with him, still side by side, hanging in the 1. One more lap, these guys run side by side, but this is exactly what Trevor Absher wants to see.
Confidence growing in the 19 camp. A little bit of contact between the 11 and the 47. Alonso going to back up just a little bit. The 11 car going to take that second position and set his sights now on the lead. See if he can kind of close in on that number 19 car. Teammates, Joe Gibbs Racing staple. I don't think we're going to see too much of a race or too much of a hard challenge from the 11, but we do know there's no team orders or anything like that from Joe Gibbs. Those guys want to go out and race every single lap competitively, and we'll see what happens with Bowen moving himself into the second spot.
A little bit of news from the garage is some blinking issues with the 13 machine, so he's going to be kind of taking it easy. Is going to be Perrier, making sure his connection's good to go. The Eller car, the number 95, battling hard with the number 9 further in the back to Matt Mack, and they are exchanging words on the radio. Eller not happy that Mackin is racing as hard as he is, especially with the damage that he has. So interesting to see what's going to happen with these drivers as they still battle. That battle wages on between the 9 and the 95. Tempers finally starting to heat up here at this short track.
You can see side by side back here for the 9th spot. Ken Ellert trying to hold on to it. There you can see the 20 of Stevens up into the wall, a few laps down in that 20 car. But he gathers it back up side by side now with Battles and going to give up that track position. And here comes the leader, Trevor Absher, in that 19 car. Now has a lot of damaged race cars in his front mirror, in his front windshield, and it's going to be tough to get around here.
Further in the back, the 95 finally did clear the 9. Oh, never mind. The 9's going to battle harder on the outside here. They're still side by side further back in the pack. But now the story is how is drives in it hard side by side for the lead. Looks like the 11 will clear him. New leader for the first time this race at North Wilkesboro. Wayne Bowen to the point.
Great racing, great move by the 11. He waited until all that lap traffic was behind everybody and really got down low and got around the 19 car. And they're still working a little bit of lap traffic, but it's not as bad as it's been over the past couple of laps. And he's got 60 laps left to go to try and hold off.
Other cars go by, they're a little bit quicker. He bounces off the wall again as we come through the field. Our leader is now down pit road of Wayne Bowen, Paul. It looks like this will be a scheduled stop as the 11 will come down and get 4 tires and fuel on his machine. The 19 now of Absher looks like he's going to be heading down in very soon as well.
Just about 50 laps there. You see 19 is going to come down and get service to the car. He's going to come down a green flag pit stop and try and get out on the track quicker than everybody else. We do want to make sure we get the final 50 laps in here, so we're going to take a quick commercial break here at ANTV, get these kinks worked out. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with the final third of this race.
What's one of the biggest challenges of managing a fleet of trucks, tractor trailers, and material handling equipment? Hassling with maintenance, repair, and vehicle breakdown. Trans Service's dedicated contract maintenance service, DCM, takes that hassle away. We maintain your fleet no matter.
Back very quickly from the commercial break. We were going to take big wreck. Leader is involved. Tough break for the leader, but that's exactly what the 19 wanted to see here. And we'll take a look at it here with the Kong Beer Pong instant replay. And man, Wes, you saw the details. What happened?
It looks like, Paul, again, it just looks like a little bit of an issue here with the 48 and the 18. Michael Miller as well as that 18. They make contact of Jimmy Absher, that is. 48 goes spinning all over the track. The 11 of Wayne Bowen, who recently was a leader before pit stops, he gets collected into it. And the irony of this happening, the 19 of Trevor Absher was just leaving his pit box with a front row seat of this happening. So Wayne Bowen with some extensive front end damage. This is a short track, so possibly not too much of an issue, but that's definitely a storyline to follow. The cards just got shuffled here at North Wilkesboro
in a big way, and it's going to take so while they get that sorted out, we're going to sort out things on our end. We'll be back after a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. It's going to
handling equipment, hassling with maintenance, repair, and vehicle breakdown. Takes that hassle away. We maintain your fleet, no matter what the configuration, to the highest standards, while giving you the greatest cost control. We offer preventative maintenance executed to maximum utilization.
Scoring through, if you will, our top 10.
Right now, we got a great battle. Wayne Bowen is looking low on the 18 of Jimmy Absher. That battle is for the third position as they battle it out. Of course, up front, Alonzo King in first, Ed Boyles Jr. in second. That battle for third still wages on. Right now, you can give it to Jimmy Absher, but for how long is Bowen fighting back from the pack after that accident? Now clears them. Okay, watching that. Wayne Bowen gets that third position. Sixth being Trevor Absher, finally getting close to that top 5 after getting messed up in the pit sequence. Seventh is David Douthway. Eighth, Tim Wortman Jr. Ninth right now will be to the number 95 of Ken Ellert. 10th will go to Matt Macklin, and right now 11th is Joshua Battle. So that is the rundown as we speak.
And we've already made mention, Tim Wortman Jr. won the first race of the round. Kenny Capola won last week at Kentucky. Those guys are racing for the championship. They are 2 of the 4 racing for the championship trophy next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Going to have 2 more drivers joining them after this race, and it's going to be pretty much decided by whoever wins the race. I think if it's going to be one of those guys with the green spoilers, the green windshield banners atop the windshields there, showing that they're in the final 8. But I think we're going to have one winner, and I think we're going to have one guy that's going to be very, very tight on points. We saw that Preston Purier had a 15-point cushion, so he was doing very, very well, especially now that he's up in the top three, currently holding on to that third position. But Ken Ellert and Matt Mack and David Douthwaite, those guys need to get further up the field as they came in 3, 6, and 7 points behind the leader.
What Alonzo King does not want to know, that 11 of Wayne Bowen is just making his way right now around the 88 of Ed Boyles Jr. They're battling side by side for second. He has battled his way throughout the entire field, basically, of lead lap cars. I believe he restarted right around 8th, 7th, something like that. He is up to second now, and he is setting this track on fire. Right now, his lap times more time. This 0.63 mile track has been dominated by him. He had a little bit of an issue, but coming out of turn 4, Trevor Apsher is your winner here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Followed up by Ed Boyles Jr., Jimmy Apsher, Tim Wortman Jr., and Wayne Bowen in that 11. What a hard run. He will line up out of the top 5. David Douthwaite in the 23 will be 6th. Joshua Battle 7th. Preston Purier will be 8th. And around out the top 10 is Ken Eller. I'm not sure exactly who was 9th. Whoever it was, they got off the track. So one heck of a race. Paul is still working on getting some technical difficulties taken care of. So the our winner here out here cutting the donuts, Trevor Apsher, burning them down. I believe his father, Jimmy Apsher, in that number 18, burning it down with him. What a cool moment, father and son pulling donuts here with the win at North Wilkesboro.
100%. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to these podium finishers, and we're going to talk to that winner, the very exciting number 19 of Apsher as well. Raced his way into the championship race for Texas Motor Speedway next week at Texas here on Vanane TV. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
Have you seen my kick-ass subscription box anywhere? Oh, there it is.
Back here at North Wilkesboro once again. We understand we had some connection issues towards the end of the race here. We're not going to let you go away empty-handed, though. Wes has the final 7 laps here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. We're going to take a quick peek at it right now. Wes, take it away.
As you can see here, you see the 19 Trevor Apsher going the corner. The 47 gets slapped into the wall by the 88. That opens up the door here for Trevor Apsher and the 88 to run side by side. As you can see, as they come through the corner, the battle for the lead was on. That 88 of Boyles did not want to give up that lead as he just hung on the right rear of Apsher as long as he could. As you can see, Jimmy Apsher in that 18 making a great recovery in this race after some early race incidents. And then you see the 19 there take the lead. And that was basically all she wrote here. This is about... as we look, this is with 5 to go, so you're going to see the final 5 laps here of Trevor Apsher just doing Trevor Apsher things, man. He got out front. He dominated earlier in this race. Got mixed up. The deck got flipped on him during the caution that came out during pit stop sequence, and then somehow the cream always rises to the top. Trevor Apsher bringing it home here.
And we've actually caught up with Trevor here in victory lane. Man, oh man, we talked to you very, very confident halfway through the race and confident coming in here to North Wilkesboro. And within the past couple, or the final couple of laps, able to bring home the victory, lock yourself in it to the championship race here next week. Talk to us about it, man. How's it feel?
Let's go, dude! I'm pumped up, man. The last 2 races, Kentucky, and I don't even remember Bristol. Like, I just had the worst luck. Just nothing going my way, and finally, the race that counts. I ran good. I had a great car, thanks to my dad and my teammates. And I'm just pumped up, dude, after the last 2 races I had in the chase.
Yeah, we saw Kentucky was not the way we wanted to see the 19-car finish. A couple of incidences throughout the night, but definitely a different story here at North Wilkesboro. Fast car all night long, and really showed to be up towards the front. And we got Texas Motor Speedway, fast track, 1.5 miler, the cookie cutter. We've seen a lot of exciting races here on Verdane TV. Wes and myself, we've been in a lot of exciting races at Texas Motor Speedway. What's the 19 car got for next week?
I'm going to give them hell like I do every week. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in there, like tonight, like versus the last 2 races I ran tonight, I came in there just, I come into the race tonight just like, all right, Trevor, let's have fun. And I did, and it worked, so that's what I'm going to do in Texas. I'm going to go in there, no matter the outcome, I'm going to have fun.
100%. We already know you got a lot of great teammates there in the Joe Gibbs Racing stable. Who else gets it done? Who gets you to and from the track here in the 19 team?
I just got to thank FATHEADZ. They for the sponsorship of this league, it's awesome. I got to thank all my teammates. They're very supportive. And how about my dad getting a podium finish tonight, man? Hell yeah, that makes it even, that tops it all off. It's awesome. We have a good time at Joe Gibbs Racing.
And how about that? We don't have to go too far to talk to Jimmy Apsher in the 18 car. He's hanging out here in victory lane, podium finish. First time I believe we've seen you on the podium here in on Verdane TV in the Fatheads Cup Series. A little bit of damage to that 18 Camry, but hey, you finished where you needed to. How about it?
Yeah, I got in a couple incidents, got some damage, and just did the best I could. I didn't give up. A couple times I wanted to, but I just kept digging. Some guys just, Josh, he got up into the wall. He said coming off a 2, and I was going under him. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it actually didn't give me as much damage as I thought. I came down pit road. I had like 30 seconds of repairs. I didn't get them all done. I got a little bit of it, but I'm just happy for Trevor, man. He came in today, and he was like, man, I'm just going to have fun. I said, man, just have fun and run. And we came into pits there for that last caution, and we were trying to decide what to do. And Wayne was our other teammate. He was running second to Alonso, and he was like, man, he said, we got to pit. And the whole time I was behind him and Trevor thinking, no, we got to stay out. And Wayne and Alonso stayed out, and Ed went down pit road, so I just followed him, and Trevor followed me, and it worked out. I mean, I think Alonso and Ed got together down there and won, and it kind of cleared the door open for me and Trevor and us guys on the bottom, and we just went for it, man. It was a good time, dude. I needed this finish bad. I've had some bad luck all year. A lot of it's been my own, but finally got a good finish.
100%. Great run. It's awesome to see both father and son team here finishing on the podium. Really big momentum day getting into the championship run. And we know the Joe Gibbs Racing Stable, you guys practice all week long, and Texas Motor Speedway is going to be no different. So what do you got for next week?
I think we'll be good. We're gonna start practicing this weekend because we got to get Trevor up there, give him a chance to win this thing. And I mean, every one of us, me, Wayne, Chuck, Ken, and Trevor, we all work together good. I mean, we practiced for 2 hours today before the 8:30 practice. So we actually practiced almost 3 hours the day before the race, and just in and out. We go eat supper, come back, practice some more. But we work hard, and we're gonna try to keep you digging, man.
And a great run. Awesome teammates helping you get to and from the track. Any sponsors, friends, family out there watching at home that you want to say hi to?
Man, I just want to thank my Joe Gibbs team, man. We all work really good together. I want to thank the FATHEADZ for sponsoring our league. We got a good league here, man. These guys work hard. The admins do a very good job trying to keep everybody happy, man. It's a tough job when you got 30 guys in a league and try to make everybody happy, but man, they do a super job and they work with everybody and they do really well, and it's a good time, man. It's a very good league. We have fun.
Absolutely, and a great finish here heading into championship week at Texas next week. Congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And Wes, I'm going to slide it on over to you, caught up with the other guy on the podium, Ed Boyles Jr., the head of Standard Motorsports 88.
Ed Boyles, you got a copy there, brother?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, man. What a final restart for you, man. The contact there with Alonso, the opportunity to get fresh tires, to making that choice of getting fresh tires, having the opportunity to possibly bring home a win, and then that 19 squeaks on by. Walk us through that last restart for us.
Yeah, I'll get right to that. First off, I just want to say something real quick. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Kenny Coppola and his family. They had a loss in their family this week, and he wasn't able to run with us. So I just want to say that, and we're thinking of him and his family. And I'll get back to my race. I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure we set that out there. Yeah, that last restart was wild. I really didn't have anything to lose. I'm currently not in the chase, so right now I'm just going for wins. I hate it. I got into Alonso there at the end. But they were kind of a sitting duck with their old tires, and I had new sets, and I wasn't sure how many guys would come down to pit road with me, but I brought everyone down, so it worked out.
Yeah, watching you enter the corner here, and we're actually watching it live here on the stream as well. It looks like you just locked them up coming down into one a little bit. As we're going to be getting to that point, you got underneath the 47. You raced them hard, you raced them clean, just a little bit of a brake lockup. And then washed up the track. But as you said, you were on the newer tires. You got to muscle around. You didn't have a lot of time to go. Did you know deep down, or you were looking in your mirror, you saw that 19 coming. It was time to make a move now or never.
Yeah, definitely. The two after cars, the Joe Gibbs cars in general tonight. I battled side by side with Wayne Bowen for a long time. The whole race it felt like. But once I saw Trevor behind me, I knew I had to go, so I tried to make the move. I got under him, and I just cooked it into the turn a little too much.
You definitely put on a great show. You and Bowen, we've watched you race side by side, and then just sticking to Trevor's right rear, doing everything you could to refrain him from clearing you. And finally, you just had to go in defense mode and realize, all right, I can't get this win. I've got to do whatever I can to at least keep a top 3, which you did. Awesome race tonight. We know in real life it takes a lot of help to get things done. We know also it does on the virtual world. What thanks would you like to give? Any other shout outs for tonight as well?
As always, I'd like to thank our sponsor of the league, FATHEADZ. I got them on the car, fatheadseyewear.com. Promo code Showtime, 40% off. I love it. I can get them up on the podium, get a good interview for them. There's a couple other people, a butt kicker. Fantastic company is supporting our league. Budget Sim Boxes, Harpoon Designs, and SimNut Racing Sims. These guys definitely help out with our league. They help it become what it has. Definitely moving forward, always looking for more sponsors, so anyone watching, always out there. Also, broadcast with Dane, and you guys have been awesome. Then I'd also like to thank my wife for always letting me race on here. She's taking care of our newest addition. We had a little baby a couple weeks ago. Haven't really got, so that's been exciting. Haven't had much practice, but other than that, just like to say thank you to everyone and congrats to everyone who made it into the final championship 4.
Great team player as you are. It sounds like you are a new father to another child, and you have your hands full off the track as well going into Texas. And then quickly, any expectations going into Texas? Good track for you? Good challenging track? What can we expect from you?
I love the 1.5 miles. I've had a lot of good luck this season on them. Charlotte, it's like a sister track. I dominated that race, and I think at the end something happened, and I ended up losing the race. And hopefully going to Texas, of course, I'll be respectful of the chase guys, but as always, I'm here to win. I'll do everything to not wreck any of them, but I think it's going to be a show for those chase guys next week going for the championship. But I'm still trying to get that 5th place in points. I could get up there and get that,
Always looking at the big picture. Again, congratulations on not only the birth of your new child, that's awesome to hear, but also coming home and in 3rd place tonight. Great run. Thank you for putting on the show that you did.
Yes, thank you guys.
And all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the driver of the number 88, Ed Blows Jr., doing one hell of a job here at North Wilkesboro, Paul.
Yeah, great race here throughout the evening at North Wilkesboro. Awesome race. Had some technical difficulties on our end here at HQ. It seems like the storms passed just as we got the checkered flag. But once we get the uploaded feed back onto the YouTube and the Facebook, should be able to catch the final 7 or so laps of all the action here and get some post-race show as well. So we apologize to the live viewers that's watching here tonight, but I think we got her all squared away, and we're going to make sure we double-check all the wires and all that good stuff and make sure the backup generator is ready to rock and roll next Wednesday night. Not going to miss any of the action at Texas Motor Speedway. Taking a quick peek here at the upcoming events here on Verdane TV. Tomorrow night, some road racing action. The Multi-League Cup Series heads on down to Sonoma for 32 laps at the track out there in California. Friday night, always unavailable here at Verdane TV. Going to be over there at Stafford Motor Speedway. Weather pending. Looks like it might be another wash here this week, but fingers crossed. And then Monday, back with the Trans Service Cup Series by Sim 500. And then next Wednesday, the doubleheader, Tim's Corner Motorsports, Tim's Corner Live at 7 o'clock and then 9:15 Eastern. We get ready to crown a champion. Fatheads Cup Series, 4 drivers going for that championship, and we're going to have all the action here live on Verdane TV. But that's going to do it here for us tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Lots of exciting things coming up here on Verdane TV. Next Friday, Stafford Motor Speedway. Going to be championship night. Jared Bolliard and Richard Beasley, the past 2 Sim 500, or the past 2 Super Speedway Series champions, going to be driving in a street stock brought to you by Rent a Race Car, one of the 2 of the cars out of the whole fleet, in the street stock race at Stafford next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to check it out. And the next day, Saturday night, the SRX Series, the Camping World SRX Series, makes their debut. Tony Stewart, Ray Evernham, bringing all those fantastic drivers to the short tracks across America, and they're kicking it off on CBS, 8 o'clock Saturday night at Stafford Motor Speedway. I can't wait. Hope to see you there. We'll catch you guys on the flip side when we do. We're going to be doing it live.